Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Today we are going to discuss the topic that is your ingredients of ice cream. Okay, so what does this ingredients mean? Ingredients means simply that the material at which the ice cream are prepared. Okay, or ingredients are the material which is used for the ingredients are the materials which are used for the preparation of food. Preparation of food. That means that without these ingredients, the the preparation of the food are not possible. Without the ingredients, without the ingredients, preparation of food is not possible. Okay, so suppose that we have to prepare ice cream. Okay, so for this we required obviously milk fat, SNF, coloring agent, flavoring agent, stabilizer, emulsifier, other fats, sugar. That means that without all of these, the preparation of ice cream is not possible. If anyone is missing, then you can't prepare the particular food product. So in today's lecture, we are going to discuss the different ingredients which are used for the manufacturing of the ice cream. Now, first one is your milk solid non-fat, or it is also called a milk solid not fat or MSNF. Okay, it is also called this. Now, this MSNF ingredients include. Okay, so now this milk solid, not fat, also have a ingredients. Also have a ingredients. Okay, now these ingredients are sugar, especially the lactose, proteins and minerals. Okay, so this MSNF contain a sugar, protein and minerals. The main function of MSNF is to increase the viscosity and the melting resistance of the ice cream. We all know that the ice cream are melt so fast. So this MSNF, what they do, they increase the viscosity and also also make a melting resistance of the ice cream with the protein which are absorbed free water, and it also prevent the growth of the large ice crystal. Okay, if the large ice crystal are grow in an ice cream, then this ice cream is not edible because of this large ice crystal. Now, liquid whole milk, skim milk, and the cream are all good sources of MSNF, but none of them contribute the sufficient MSNF so that it will satisfy either the legal requirement for the MSNF or the technical demand. So, although they are, when fresh and of good bacteriological quality, they have an excellent source of MSNF, and it is also necessary to add more MSNF in a concentrated form. A satisfactory source of this concentrated liquid milk is what? Skim milk, which are obtained by a vacuum evaporation, so that it will give a total solid contain around 25 to 35%. Okay, so the uh, the satisfactory source of the for the preparation of this ice cream is what? Concentrated liquid skim milk. And this concentrated liquid skim milk are obtained by a vacuum evaporation. It is obtained by a vacuum evaporation, and when it is prepared by the vacuum evaporation, then the total solid contained is around 25 to 35% total solid content. Because this is not normally sterilized product, it has to be used rapidly and require a refrigerated storage conditions. Okay, so we all know that ice cream should be stored at a refrigerated condition, and it could be utilized repeatedly because it is not a normal sterilized product. Sweetened condensed milk can also be used so that it will increase the MSNF of ice cream. Okay, if we use a sweet in the place of this skim milk, we can also use a sweetened condensed milk, and it can increase the MSNF of the ice cream. But there is a there is a chance of formation of the large lactose crystal. If we use the sweetened condensed milk, then there is a possibly chance of the formation of that large lactose crystal, which may affect the texture of the ice cream, and this defect is called a sandiness. Okay, when a large lactose crystals are formed, then the texture will defect, and this defect is called a sandiness. Okay, now the next is your spray dry skim milk powder is the most widely used milk product. And this excellent ingredients is also used to either provide the hold of the MSNF in the mix, or it increase the MSNF content of a liquid whole milk or a skim milk. Okay, then use of the membrane so that the skim milk will be concentrated, and is also a very satisfactory methods for increasing the MSNF. Spray dry full cream milk powder is another source of MSNF, but the shelf life of this product is much less than the skim milk powder due to the presence of the milk fat, and this may also become a off flavor and eventually rancid on a prolonged storage. Okay, so if we prolong storage, then there is a rancidity occur and also become off flavor. If the full cream milk powder is properly used, although it is very satisfactory source of the MSNF and also offers some milk fat, there is some use now begin made up of various whey product. The quantity of the whey product in the ice cream has to be restricted around 25% of the total MSNF. And the problem with this ordinary whey powder is that it contain a appreciably more lactose than a skim milk powder, that is about 74% as compared to the 50% in a SMP, and this may also cause a sandy mouth feel. Now the next ingredients is your milk fat. After MSNF, the next ingredient is your milk fat. So fat is very necessary because it provide a ice cream with its rich, mellow, full and creamy flavor. Okay, so for getting a rich, mellow, full and creamy flavor, we required a fat. And fat will also increase the viscosity of the mix and lower the tendency so that it will not melt, and also provide a smoothness to the ice cream. The best source for the milk fat is the most costly is cream. Okay, best source and the most costly source is what? It is the cream. And this must be freshly produced and it will be produced as an excellent cream ice. Other sources are frozen cream, unsalted butter, and anhydrous milk fat, that is also called a AMF. Anhydrous milk fat, that is also called a AMF, or a butter oil. Okay, now the next is your other fat. Okay, apart from MSNF and the milk fat, the other fat is the other type of fats are the use of fat and other than milk fat is prohibited by law. Okay, so the use of the fat other than the milk fat for the manufacturing of the ice cream are prohibited by a law in a large number of the countries. Okay, but they are permitted in the some countries, that is your United Kingdom, Sweden, Belgium, Denmark, and the Netherlands. They provide they use it so that it will be suitable for the ice cream, and they should have a melting point just below the 37 °C with a slip melting point about 30 °C. This is to avoid any clingy fatty sensation which begin in the mouth and which fat with a higher melting points might produce. The fat that are most commonly used include partially hydrogenated palm oil, palm kernel oil, coconut oil, and suitably blended so that it will give a satisfactory melting range, because they are usually bland and it is suitable for the flavoring, and so that it is required for adding into a ice cream. Moreover, the addition of this type of fats and oil, not of milk origin, should be mentioned on the label. Okay, if we are using a milk, using a fat or oil, but this fat and oil is not a milk fat, so it should be mentioned into a then it should be mentioned into a your labeling. Without mentioning, you can't sell it. Now the next is your sugar and sweetening. Apart from providing the required sweetness which balance the milk fitness of the product, okay, sugar also play a other important role in the manufacturing of the ice cream, that is your addition to the total solid, thereby it provide a texture and a body as well as creaminess. Okay, so it will provide the texture and creaminess to the body and also control the freezing point, hence the hardness and the squishability of the ice cream. So the sugar is not commonly employed is the sucrose, which is obtained either from a cane or a beet. Sucrose is highly soluble, thereby making it an ideal ingredient for the manufacturing of the ice cream. Apart from sugar, you can also add a glucose syrup, which are made by a acid or a enzyme hydrolysis of the corn flour, wheat, and other sources of the starch, and it can also employ to a considerable extent. The amount and the type of this hydrolysis govern both the sweetening power and the amount of freezing point depression. Okay, thus the syrup can use so that it will produce a different type of the ice cream which is required. Okay, so the various type of glucose syrup are differentiated by their dextrose equivalent number. Okay, so this glucose syrups can differentiate by the DE number, that is your dextrose dextrose equivalent number, that is called dextrose equivalent number. If the dextrose equivalent number is higher, then it means that the dextrose dextrose level is higher and it will leads to a relative sweetening. Okay, by increasing the DA number, the freezing point depression is also increases. Okay, if we increase the this dextrose equivalent number, then automatically the freezing point depression will also increases. On a large scale, sugar glucose syrup mixture can be used according to the ice cream manufacturer requirement, and it contain around 70% of the solid, and they will handle in a tanker load. Dextrose is also used particularly in a smaller scale manufacture because it is a powder and is much more handle easily than a glucose syrup. Okay, when um in the place of this sugars glucose syrup mixture, you can use dextrose also, because it is mm, powder in nature and it can be easily handled as compared to the glucose syrup. Finally, the spray dried glucose syrup are available, but they cost more than a dextrose. Okay, so in the place of glucose syrup, there are spray dried glucose syrups are also available in the market, but it is mm, it is more costly than the dextrose. That use a dextrose in the place of this glucose syrup. Now the next is your stabilizing agent. So the primary function of this stabilizer in the manufacturing stream, in the manufacturing of the ice cream, is that to prevent the heat shock. This process, by which fluctuating temperature cause ice crystal in the frozen product so that it will melt and then refreeze. During this process, ice crystal can become a mobile and then it combine into a larger ice crystal, and this formation of this larger ice crystal also cause a undesirable texture defect, and the stabilizer will absorb a free moisture content in a frozen ice cream, and it will reduces the amount of water availability to the participate in a phase change ice to water and water to ice. Now the next is your stabilizer also give a ice cream body without making it too heavy or gummy. Okay, without making it too heavy or gummy, a stabilizer also stabilize the body of the ice cream and allow the ice cream so that it will melt down satisfactory but relatively slowly. They can also improve the whippability of the mix and give a drier ice cream and probably minimize the shrinkage problem. To a limited extent, milk protein act in this way, but additionally stabilization is very necessary so that it will give a satisfactory product. Gelatin, which is an animal protein, was the first substances to be used in this way. Okay, so gelatin is what? We all know that gelatin is the animal protein. So gelatin can be used as a stabilizing agent in case of ice cream. Stabilizing agent in case of the ice cream. It produces gel-like network during the storage or aging period, and it can be stored at 5 degrees Celsius for 4 to 5 hours. This milk protein, when added into a milk powder, also required some time to hydrate the fully. Now the next is your emulsifying agent. Emulsifying agent, as we already mentioned, that ice cream mix has to be submitted to a mechanical emulsification. This is to ensure that the fat globules are sufficiently small to give a homogeneous smooth mix. Okay, so this emulsifying agents are used so that they will ensure that the fat globules which are present into our ice creams are sufficiently smaller, and it will give a homogeneous and a smooth mix. But at the same time, it greatly increases the surface area of the fat globules so that it will prevent the agglomeration of the fat globule after the homogenization. It is also necessary to protect their surfaces either by natural membrane, and this natural membrane is present in a milk and a cream, or by adding some surface active material. An emulsifying agent is used for this purpose, and it acts by contributing the formation of the different member. After the cooling of the ice cream and the aging of the homogenized mix at 4 degrees Celsius, the membranes are again rearranged with the emulsifier being absorbed more strongly, and it replaces the protein on the surfaces. The extent of the protein displacement from the membrane, and then hence it will extend it. The dryness which are achieved is a function of the type and concentration of the emulsifier which are used. Fat globules with absorb emulsifier, they increase the susceptibility to the destabilization forces which existed in a freezer. Now the next is your emulsifying agent is thus also required to help the maintaining the fat globule as an individual unit. For a optimal structure and the texture of the regular ice cream, approximately 60% of the fat in the emulsion should be destabilized. The emulsifier also assists in the formation of the large number of the smaller and more uniform air cell, which help to produce a smoother ice cream and add a whippability. Now, the next is your flavoring agent. We can use a flavoring agent either a natural or a synthetic origin, which are available in the market, and mainly in a mixture of both of this. You can either use natural flavoring agent or synthetic flavoring agent according to their availability, and you can also use in a mix of this both. And generally, it is used for a proper flavoring of the food. Natural flavoring are derived from a citrus, non-citrus fruit, spices, cocoa and chocolate, coffee, and natural flavoring from a vanilla beans and a nuts. Liqueur flavoring included a whiskey, distilled beverages, fruit brandy, distillate, and a fruit liqueurs. Vanilla is one of the most popular flavoring agent which are used in the United States in the manufacturing of the ice cream, and it is produced from the beans that are present in the pods of the wine vanilla planifolia. Okay, so vanilla flavor can be produced by the beans which are already present in a pods of the wine vanilla planifolia. Another widely used flavoring is a chocolate and cocoa, which are obtained from the cocoa beans, the fruit of the Theobroma cocoa tree. Chocolate ice cream made either from a flattering syrup from the special mix which are already incorporated into a cocoa, and is quite popular as are chocolate coating on ice cream cones and bar. Fruits are also used as a flavoring in both type of ice creams, or either in a frozen yogurt. They are available in a fresh, frozen, heat processed form, and fresh or fresh frozen fruit is often the best source of flavor, but fruit have a higher sugar content like your strawberries, raspberries, blackcurrant. So they are commonly employed and may cause a problem with a yeast and mold contamination because of high sugar content. A health conscious public has pushed the industry to reduce the calorific value of that ice cream ingredient, like your blueberry chunk, raspberry, strawberry purees, and chocolate flakes, and non-sweetened with a apartment aspartment. Nuts are also used as a coating or included in the ice cream, and the most popular type of nuts are pecans, walnuts, almonds, pistachio, filberts, and peanut. And they must be clean, be in a sound condition, and have a low count of microorganism and free of pathogen. Finally, the spices are used in the manufacturing of the frozen dessert that included the cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, allspice, and ginger. Now, the last ingredient is your coloring agent. Okay, so we all know that coloring agent that are coloring agent, or you can say the colors agent that are permeated by the government are used in the that are permeated by the FSSAI, are used in the manufacturing of ice cream, and they are certified and must be declared on the ingredient level. Okay, so if the coloring agent which are used in the manufacturing of the ice cream should be declared or should be mentioned in a labeling agent. The coloring which are used in the manufacturing of ice cream are totally depend upon the ice cream which are produced. For example, if you have to produce a chocolate ice cream, then you have to add a extra coloring, not because of cocoa impart high color at the concentration of use. On the other hand, fruit ice cream which is needed to be colored because the usual amount of fruits are added do not impart a desirable color to the end product. So this is all about the ingredients of the ice cream. I hope you will understand, but if you have any query related to this topic, you can freely ask me in a comment box, or for a further detail, you can follow the ITLS Academy on different platforms, that is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, or LinkedIn, and subscribe our channel ITLS Academy on YouTube and get our app from a Google Play. Or you can also ask your query to the helpline number that are already mentioned in your slide, that is 7080833450, and visit our website www.itlsacademy.com. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel.